So we got this HR17 narrow electric machine, and it has a strange fault on it where we have no error codes and we have no functions, from boom functions and a steer. So previously we had error code 01C40000, and we had to replace the motor controller, which customer did it, and then the error code disappeared, but we have no functions. When we press a enable button here, then nothing happens. So we're gonna try to see what's happening here, and the machine has been on charge now, so it should be fully charged, and we're gonna start diagnostics here. So the machine is charging and is getting close to full charge, so we have a rapid flashes on LED here, so it's above 80% at the moment. I will disconnect the charger and then we're gonna start the machine together just to see what is happening, and we go from there. So charger is disconnected now, so let's start it up and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so here the motor controller kicked in, and I have no error codes. If you look on the screen here, error codes is grayed out. So everything seems to be good. Let's press enable. So we have a motion alarm, and interestingly I had symbols showing here that the motor is taking the current. That's strange. Okay, that's a pump motor controller, and we got the speed, temperature. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I'm pressing enable button, and there is a 0 oh, that's interesting. It jumped. So it's a 0 RPM, so that means the motor is not running. But strangely, is taking the current in. So that display normally goes green, amber, and red based on the amount of current that is being consumed by the system. So it's taking some sort of current. I wonder why the motor is not spinning, and why we're having no error codes here. So I will try to see on the motor controller if there is any flash codes there or something. So that's where my motor assembly is. So we have a motor controller on the side, the motor with a hydraulic pump, and the status LED. So normally that's LED that would be flashing error codes. If the controller has no error codes, the display is gonna flash 1-1, so that would be status flash as it is now. So it seems like there is no error codes on it, so it's just doing 1-1. So if I'm gonna press enable button, let's see if that's gonna trigger any sort of errors. Oh, it's actually the motor is rotating. It is rotating, but it's very slowly. Huh? I think the base RPM should be quite high on this model, around maybe 2000 or something. So wait a minute, so if that is rotating, that means maybe it's not picking up the speed. That's a speed sensor. That is temperature sensor. Wait a minute. So that's... Oh, don't say that. Alright, so I think I know what that is, actually. Look at this controller here. You see the letter V, that's for phase V, that's for the phase U. So if you follow this wire, the phase V, it comes up to here, and if you look on the motor there, that's your phase U. The middle one is phase V, and the middle one goes to U here. All right. Oh, that was. I think that's someone's mistake here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I mean, it's been a long trip to come and see this. All right, let's try to rectify that, and then we see what's happening. But it would make sense. Then the controller doesn't know what's happening and is not able to rotate the motor as it should be because the phase is in the wrong sequence. So, okay, let me try to move. I want to swap those wires over so the phases are correct. And because we know the controller has been replaced, so possibly it was mixed up on this end anyway. Because it's not been worked on here, you can see the lines are still on the bolts showing. It doesn't look like it's been done anything here. Okay, so let's do that. So I swapped the phases now over. I haven't tried it yet, but just to show you, look. On each cable there is identification of the phase. So that's a V, and that's a V as well. And if you follow that, it goes into middle one. And middle one is a V, but you can't really see it. But yeah, and this one is a U. So just be careful when you change a controller. It can happen to anyone. But let's tighten this up and then let's test it. Okay, let's do a test. So switch the machine on. Start it up. So we're having our 1-1 all okay flashes here, and I'm gonna press the enable button. Yeah, now I can hear the motor is running. And if I go to motor info, press a button, I go to 1500 RPM. So I think that's all good. I will do some function tests, and I think that's all it was actually. It was some mistake made up here while changing motor controller. So if you do have to do it, just be careful with that. And if you lost your controller or you don't have any functions, then maybe it could be issue with the phases being mixed up.